This episode contains explicit words. Listener discretion is advised. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Notes on Nonsense. These are episodes of the Same 24 Hours podcast where you get me, your host, Meredith Atwood, talking about nonsense. But not in a way you might think. My new book is coming out in December. It is called The Year of No Nonsense: How a Little Less Bullshit Can Change Your Life. And so I thought, in celebration leading up to the release of this book, which I'm super, super proud of, you guys, that I would do some podcasts to talk about some of the points in the book and actually beyond. So here you go. You get me unfiltered, 15 minutes, at least once a week, maybe more. This week's episode is called Being Stuck is Bullshit. So here we go. Last week's episode was about motivation and why motivation is total and absolute garbage. This episode is about why being stuck is also total and absolute garbage. Here's what I mean. So you hear it sometimes, right? People say, I don't know how to blank. I'm stuck. So what exactly do people mean when they say they're stuck? That's a really good question. I guess you have to ask the person that says it. But what I have learned from experience is that when people say they're stuck, what they're really saying is they don't have the discipline or they don't have the motivation. Now, last week we talked about why motivation is not an actual thing that people have. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and have a listen. But when you say you're stuck, what exactly does that mean? What are you stuck in? Maybe you're stuck in the scale moving. Maybe you're stuck in your job. Maybe you're stuck in your relationship. You're stuck in your mental state. Stuck. One of my favorite quotes, and I don't know who said it, and I don't know exactly what the quote is, but something about, you're not a tree, so move. I think being stuck is having a tree-like mindset, where you're absolutely paralyzed by something. And maybe it's yourself, maybe it's someone else, maybe it's fear, maybe it's the unknown, the uncertainty of the unknown. All of these things are real in your mind. However, being stuck is not real. Unless you are pinned beneath a bulldozer, an elephant, or some other giant thing where you are literally stuck, you are not stuck. Being stuck is bullshit. So here's how we get unstuck. Number one, stop saying you're stuck. You are not stuck. Maybe you're heading down a path that's not so great. Maybe you feel like you're not making progress. And maybe you are, in fact, not making progress. But you're not stuck. Being stuck in the way that people say it says, this is my state and this is where I will remain because I am stuck. I am in this position and this is where I will remain. My good friend Susan Winterstein, which I've talked about so many times over the years, and she pops up in my new book a couple of times too. She told me years and years ago, well, maybe it's not been years and years, maybe 4 years ago, I was complaining. We have a group of us that are on a message chain, and I'm complaining about my job, my weight, and everything else in between. And she's a little bit older than me and has 5 daughters and has a lot of wisdom. And what she said to me was, well, of course you're going to be stuck if you continue to read the same script over and over and over again. Nothing's going to change. You're picking up your piece of paper and you're reading it over and over again. Stop reading your script and things will change. Suffice it to say, Susan was not my favorite person for quite a while. I got really pissed off at this. I was like, who does she think she is telling me I'm reading my script? I'm not reading my script. If everything is just busy and I'm busy and I'm tired and I'm fat and all these things are not working out for me because I pick up, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, shit, I'm reading the script. Right when I realized that I was mad at her, I started reading the script again, and I realized that I had this thing going every time I was mad, every time someone upset me, every time someone hurt my feelings. I would get out this script and I would read why I wasn't good enough, why the promotion did not come to me, why my body wasn't changing in the way I wanted despite all my hard work. I was thinking about all these things and why it wasn't happening, why I was stuck. And the crux of the matter is you're stuck because you're choosing to be stuck. You're choosing to pick up your piece of paper and read the same script. You're choosing to wake up in the morning and say, I am stuck. Again, if you are not pinned beneath some sort of heavy machinery, you are not stuck. There is always a choice to be had. And again, there may be a choice between chicken shit and chicken shit, but you still have a choice. So the next time you find yourself saying, I'm stuck, I have been stuck, I am stuck, I'm in a state of stuck, my kids are stuck, we're all stuck, ask yourself what you're really saying. Ask yourself, what do you mean by I am stuck? I have found over the years that when women say that they're stuck, I don't know that guys say they're stuck. Maybe they do. Please let me know if you say you're stuck and you're a guy. But I know that women over the years who say they're stuck, what they mean is, I have given up. Not on life necessarily, sometimes yes, but I have given up on this particular portion of my life. It means I don't believe I have the resources. It means I don't believe that I am resourceful enough to find the resources. It means I am stuck and I have given up on this part of my existence. A lot of times, I think it is with women, it is our bodies. And I'm not telling you how your body should look. I don't care how your body looks. But the question I like to ask is, how do you want your body to look? How do you want to feel? And that's the big question, right? Who cares how our bodies look? But it tends to go hand in hand with how we feel. But yet, we can easily just say, I am stuck in how I feel. I feel like garbage every day. I feel emotionally messed up. I feel physically sick. I am stuck. So if you're in a position where you're saying you're stuck about your body or your health, what I hear is that you've given up. You've given up on finding a solution to how you're feeling. You haven't read all the books. You haven't listened to all the podcasts. You haven't consulted all the experts and the physicians and the mental health experts and your friends and the people out there who could shed some light, or at least at a bare minimum, drag your ass out of the ground and pull your head out of the sand. Because you're not stuck. You've just given up. And I don't mean this in a way of judgment, of non-compassion, of some sort of salty motivation. I mean this because I have said I am stuck. Remember, I was reading a script. I was stuck at this weight. I was stuck at this speed. I was stuck in my law job. I was never going to get out. I can talk trash on the stucky people of the world because I've been a stucky person. I grew up as swim bike mom as a stucky person. I was stuck in all of it because I'd given up. I had said, I'm always going to be slow, a lawyer, in debt, miserable. Those were the things that were on my script that I was reading that said I was stuck. I had given up on those things. Now, there were certain parts of my life that I managed to maintain hope. And hope is also a dangerous thing, and we'll talk about that in another episode. But being stuck is a state of mind. And when you allow that state of mind to become part of who you are, then you've given up. You have said, there is nothing left for me in this particular area of my life. I'm stuck in this job. When you say you're stuck in this job, that means you have no intention of trying to get out. Because the words you say, Hafiz said, the words that we say become the house we live in. That's a semi-quote. I got it completely wrong. But the words we say become the house we live in. When you say I am stuck, when you say I can't get out, when you say you're fat, ugly, slow, ridiculous, all these things, when you say those things, then you are those things. They become the house you live in. And the worst part is, while we may not intend to live in this house, with every statement we say, I am stuck, you are throwing another brick on this house. You are building your house of stuck. And that's bullshit. This world is hard enough. Life is challenging enough without you helping the world build the bricks around your house of stuckiness. You've got enough challenges without standing in your own way with the words you say. Being stuck is bullshit. You are not stuck, so stop saying it. If you feel in your soul that you're stuck, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. What is the next step to getting out of this quicksand? What do I need to do immediately today? And when it comes to our mental state, I would challenge the first thing to do when we feel like I am stuck is to write down 3 reasons why you are not stuck. Because lies and the lies that we're told, it's a big part of the year of no nonsense. But the lies that we're told, the lies that we're perpetuating, they are crushed by the truth. They are crushed by flipping statements into truth. When your head says, I am stuck, I want you to take pen to paper and write 3 reasons why you're not stuck. And here's how it goes. This is me, Meredith. You are so stuck. Your body is never going to change. Okay? There's the statement. So what I want you to do, Meredith, me, I'm just talking to myself here. It's no big deal, you guys. What you do is you flip that. And you give yourself 3 reasons why you are not stuck. Number 1, Meredith, you are not a tree. You are stuck in nothing. Nothing is pinning you down. Number 2, you have choices. They may be some rotten choices sometimes, but you have a choice. What is your choice going to be today? Number 3, I am going to choose better immediately, the next best thing. Whether that's the next meal I eat, the next thing I put in my mouth to drink, the next way I walk down the hallway. And what I mean by that is if you are stepping over the same laundry pile, you are not stuck. You just need to pick up your laundry pile. If your house is a mess, either let it be a mess and go do something for your health. Or if your house is the problem, then pick it up. Do the immediate next thing. I don't care if your house is messy. My house is a mess half the time. You know why? Because I'm tending to the things that matter in my world. And yes, a clean house matters. A neat house, I don't give a flip about. So you have to ask yourself, if you're stuck, what are the words that you're telling yourself to make yourself stuck? Because stuck is not a real place. It's in your head. Start making a list of the ways that you are not stuck. Read that list because that is the map out of what you perceive to be the problem. The Year of No Nonsense is a book about how I stopped a lot of the nonsense in my life. What it means for you is it's a map. It's a guidebook for how to get out of your own way and how just a little less nonsense, a little less bullshit will change your life forever. How taking the things we say and flipping them can change your whole day, your whole week, your month, and then your life. Our lives are full of big and little nonsense. The big ones can be catastrophic. The little ones, they can turn into catastrophe as well. So each week, I look forward to bringing you notes on nonsense. This is not the outline of the book by any means. These are snippets that I might have explored in the book and I might have not. But this is the theme. This is the theme for 2020, you guys. The Year of No Nonsense. We've been doing it. We've been, kind of batting it around for a few years. I know I certainly have. But 2020 is going to be the year that you guys all get on board. I just know it. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next week.